What's going on, MMA fans? We're going to try something a little bit different today. Instead of being in the studio, we are actually going to do it on the webcam. Joel was luckily very fortunate to let us use his webcam on his computer. It is, what day is that? I can't even remember.
July 5th.
July 5th. Yeah, right after the 4th of July. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their 4th of July activities yesterday.
Send me some ribs. Send me some ribs.
So
y'all better send me a plate. I'm coming after you. I know where y'all live. I
had a great one, George. Obviously, you had a good one. Joel probably had a good one as well. Couple things real quick. Obviously, this is the first of many parts. I think we're going to do at least 3 parts. First thing we're going to talk about is UFC 132 for this weekend.
Yep.
And it was overall a great, very underrated pay-per-view.
Probably card of the year. Card of the year.
The early stages of our awards being pay-per-view of the year. But we're mostly just going to go down the main card. One thing I really want to talk about, and also please go visit our website, MMA Mayhem ATL.blogspot.com. Also send us the email at MMAMayhemATL@gmail.com with your suggestions. We don't take anything personally.
None.
Well, let's get into UFC 132. I want really your opinion. Out of all the undercards, aka Facebook, aka Spike TV, which one kind of suits you the best?
I would probably have to go with the Spike TV portion of the card, just based on like the matchups and the styles. You had Melvin the Young Assassin Gillard going up against Shane Roller. A good contrast of styles. Like I just said. Melvin Gillard, he's the super quick striker / wrestler / judoka. He's kind of gone through a storm, so to speak, in his career. He's had his ups and downs, with the whole cocaine situation, but he's finally cleaned himself up, reevaluated his life. He's moved his training from Houston, Texas up to New Mexico to train with Greg Jackson, and he has looked nothing short of phenomenal. I mean, I think he's like, what, 4 or 5-0 since he's been training with Greg Jackson?
Of course, a great victory over Evan Dunham.
Oh yeah, finished 2 top level opponents in Evan Dunham and Shane Roller, and both within the first round.
Yep.
So I think it's safe to say that Melvin Gillard has officially arrived.
Yes.
And if he keeps getting on this hot streak, would you agree with me? At least the beginning or going into 2012, could you see Melvin Gillard being a top contender?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of talk when WC merged with UFC that he would go down to 145.
Yeah.
But he has been on a roll as of late at 155.
Yes,
so, hats off to him. I think he's going to be a really good contender. Like I said, like George was saying, probably 2012, early 2012. I think maybe a little bit later, maybe mid 2012.
So I can see that.
I think he needs a couple more fights left in him. But overall, a great talented fighter. The match that really suited me was Aaron Simpson and Brad Tavares match. I was a big Brad Tavares fan. I actually rooted for him. Unfortunately, Aaron Simpson won. Nothing against A-Train. I think he's an unbelievable fighter.
Yeah, he is.
And it was supposed to be Aaron Simpson taking on Jason Mayhem Miller, but obviously you smart MMA fans would realize that Jason Mayhem's about to face Michael Bisping in the finale of the Ultimate Tough 14 this season, which I can't wait to see.
Oh, man. Dude, I am so pumped for that season. Like, you just don't know. I mean, you have 2 charismatic forces about to collide. Michael Bisping is looking to, of course, I know he's looking forward to coaching some of the, stellar talent that's going to be on this season of The Ultimate Fighter. But the one goal that Michael Bisping has in mind is he's trying to get to the top contender status to vie for the middleweight championship. Now let's look at Michael Bisping here. I know Jason Mayhem Miller is causing all the stir because he just signed with the UFC, about a month or so ago, and that's good. But let's not forget about Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping's been doing his thing lately too. Just came off a huge, but I guess you could say sort of controversial victory over Jorge Rivera.
And he's a little crazy.
Yeah.
I can't stand Jorge Rivera. I cannot stand Jorge Rivera. By the way, I apologize. This is Mr. Shoot Promo, Kurt Dawson, and of course, Mr. MMA Encyclopedia, George Kilbert, for
AKA the animated
MMA, aka Intergalactic Brew. Go check them out.
Yes, sir.
YouTube. With Brew and
yes,
Brock,
sir.
Along check with this as well. Going on to really the main card of the UFC 132. The first fight, Dennis Severs, Matt Wyman, lackluster. Probably the worst match out of the 5 of them, in my opinion.
Maybe I kind of have to disagree with you on that because, like, you know, as you know, as boring as you may perceive it as, you know, I kind of expected what happened to happen in that fight. I knew that Matt Wyman was going to try to get the fight to the mat as early and as often as possible, and I knew Dennis Silver was going to give him all types of fits and prevent him from doing just that. But actually, if you look at it, in the second round, you can actually make a case that Matt Wyman kind of woke everybody up because he was able to take Dennis Silver down. And, you know, I kind of got frustrated with Silver in the second round because I did pick him to win that fight. But I kind of felt like he deviated away from the game plan and he started just, you know, slugging away and letting his hands go and really not staying technical and staying within the strategy. And I think that's what led to him, you know, getting taken down by Matt Wyman, in my opinion. I just felt like he got careless.
There's a lot better guys to watch than Dennis Severs.
I mean, of course.
And Matt Wyman.
Oh, of course.
That should be on the undercard. Shane Roller and Melvin Gillard should have been.
Now I do agree. I will agree with you on that.
So there's a lot more guys entertaining at that division than Matt Wyman and Dennis Severs.
But I mean, but for what it's worth, I mean, you know, I mean, what can you expect? I mean, you know, Dennis Silver, he's, you know, not the type of guy that'll go out there and just get in your face and just start swinging away.
He's your Steven Struhl of the damn lightweight.
Yeah, kind of like that. And
lightweight, aka welterweight.
Right, and then Matt Wyman, you know, he's basically your typical super wrestler. Yeah. You know, he's not going to really stand up and really see what he's made of on the feet. He's just going to be like a Gray Maynard type, just looking to take you down, control you, ground and pound you in your guard. Huh?
Gray Maynard's a winner too.
Yeah, exactly, right. But I'm just saying, like, right. But I'm just saying, like, Matt Wyman's just one of those guys who's just going to look to take you down, typical wrestler, ground and pound you, beat you up in your guard, and hopefully to edge out a 3-round decision.
I agree with that comment. The next fight, actually, let's continue talking about, actually, a fight that both of us were really intrigued about. Dong Hyun Kim taking on
Carlos Condit.
Now, I'll tell you what, we're not doing a mid-year awards, but we agree Carlos Condit is a force to be reckoned with in the welterweight division right now.
He is my I mean, when we do our MMA awards, Carlos Condit will be my breakout star of 2011 because this guy pretty much rose from the ashes and just came and blew everybody away. Because I know people kind of doubted him, you know, after that fight with Roy McDonald. And, you know, people were kind of questioning his cardio because he did get exhausted in that fight. But, you know, Carlos Condit, man, he's just so tough and he's got so much courage and so much heart. You know, and he was just able to just muster that one last bit of energy that he had.
I always thought Carlos Condit had the ability. I knew of Carlos Condit way before George did, unfortunately, in WEC.
Yeah.
And I always knew that he had the credibility. The match with Dan Hardy woke me up.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Dan Hardy fan.
Yeah, I am too.
I respect the fighter, but I'm not a big Dan Hardy fan.
I love
just the way that he dominated that
fight
was unbelievable. So obviously, you know, whoever wins that Nick Diaz and GSP fight, then it's hard to go against Carlos Condit. Right?
It really is. It really is. The guy is really you know, like you said, you know, really opened people's eyes, and you know, I kind of had a feeling, you know, once, cause you got to remember when he went into that what was that Martin Kampman fight, that was his first fight in the UFC. When he fought,
that's another bone, by the way.
Huh?
I hate Mark Kampman.
Martin Kampman?
I hate him. I really do.
What's your problem?
I hate him.
You have no taste.
No,
you have no taste. You have no taste. You have no taste. And that's Joel in the background, by the way. But anyway, but yeah, that first fight that he had with Martin Kampman, people had to realize he hadn't fought like in a very long time, so he kind of like had to get his rhythm back, and he kind of had to get used to the UFC high level style of competition. But I knew once he settled in and once he, you know, found his form again, that he was going to make some serious waves in the welterweight division, and that's what he has done. And like you said, whoever's the winner of that GSP Nick Diaz fight, they're gonna have a challenge on their hands.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna have a challenge.
Because I guarantee you, Carlos Condit Do not let his size and, you know, do not let his personality or anything about him outside the octagon fool you. This guy is for real.
Yep.
And I believe if he comes out and puts on his best performance like he did similar to the Dong Young Kim or Dan Hardy fight, we could have a new welterweight champion.
Dun Hun Kim, by the way, lost, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And he needs to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, he does.
I think that he needs one more fight. If he loses, and I believe that was, what, his second loss? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I have to look at it.
No, he was undefeated. He was undefeated. That was his first professional loss.
First professional loss. But Carlos kind of destroyed him.
Yeah, he destroyed him.
And
vicious double flying.
If it happens again, and nothing against Dun Hun Kim, I think he's a good fighter.
Oh, yeah.
He has a bright future, but he's one-dimensional.
He is.
He is one-dimensional. He's not an MMA fighter, just a.k.a. Carlos Condit, a.k.a., in my opinion, Josh Koscheck.
Oh, yeah.
I think some of those guys are more well-rounded.
You got to be well-rounded these days, man, to survive in the MMA. I mean, you know, gone are the days, like I tell you this all the time, gone are the days of, you know, where you could be one-dimensional, where you could be a striker like Chuck Liddell, where you could be a wrestler like Randy Couture and, you know, survive. But now you got these young, hungry, determined talent coming up now. And their skill sets are constantly evolving. So you have no choice but to evolve. So either you're going to get with it or you're going to get gone.
Now speaking of, what was I going to say? Speaking of people that need to be more than one-dimensional, let's talk about, in my opinion, one of the best fights of the night. Ryan Bader, Tito Ortiz.
Here we go, man.
And
here we go.
This fight right here is absurd.
Yeah.
In my opinion. All of you, and we'll get into this later, but all of you Tito Ortiz haters, little sorry piss ants. Tito sucks! And that's Joel, by the way. But, anywho, all of you marks, what the hell are you thinking? Ryan Bader is a good wrestler. He's a decent striker. Alright? That's about it.
Hey, I ain't gonna even lie. I have my doubts about Tito. I really thought that Tito was gonna come in here and stink it up. As much as I wanted to believe in Tito, I mean, you know, after watching that fight with Matt Hamill, like, I really thought Tito was just gonna come in and just stink up the joint. I thought he was gonna come up and try to stand with Ryan Bader the whole time, thinking that he was a better striker than he.
Sorry to interrupt, but Ryan Bader knocked out Keith Jardine. Who the hell is Keith Jardine?
Really, though?
All right?
Really, though?
This guy comes from Greg Jackson, and he doesn't do crap. He's Rashard Evans' little bitch boy. That's all he is.
I'm Keith Jardine. That's how he fights, all right?
Yeah.
Herky-jerky style? What are we doing? What is that? Yeah.
Soldier Boy?
Yeah, what is that? Young John? Meet me in the trail. It's going down.
Keith Jardine is
man.
A buffoon.
He is. He's a chimpanzee. He's a chimpanzee. That's what he is. A straight chimpanzee.
But like I said, Ryan Bader needs to go back to the drawing board. Tito Ortiz, hats off to you. We'll be talking more about him here in a second because there's other things I want to talk to about Tito Ortiz haters. But going on to the next fight, I know you had some unfortunate with this fight. Chris the Crippler Lieben taking on Vanderlei the Axe Murderer Silva.
The inevitable happened, and that's what I was afraid of. I knew that Vanderlei's chin has loosened up. He does not have the glass chin that he had in Pride. And I knew if Chris Lieben landed that one good shot.
Over the hill.
Watch your mouth.
Over the hill.
Huh?
Over the hill.
What has Chris Lieben done?
Man, Chris.
Okay, I arrest my case. I arrest my case.
Chris Lieben took two fights.
Jay Silva, are you serious?
No.
Okay.
He took 2 fights in a matter of what,
that's great.
3 weeks?
That's great.
Vanderlei Silva didn't do that.
That's great. Throw him a birthday party. Go get him a birthday cake that says, "We're happy for your success, Chris Lieben." But don't try to discount what Vanderlei's done.
I'm not.
Vanderlei is the reason.
Vanderlei Silva.
You just said over the hill. Over the hill.
Isn't that what you just said? It's like Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell. All those guys I respect nonstop. But good God, he's over the hill. He's what, almost 50?
Dude, Vanderlei has done more in this sport than Chris Lieben can even imagine about doing. While Chris Lieben was over there swimming around in his red-headed mother's stuff, Vanderlei Silva was out here running through the competition in Pride. Yes, I'm not. No, I'm not. I got a whole lot more to say.
Are you done yet?